Now that we've powered back, welcome back to some more Stormworks. I'm StormRunner Gaming, and today, hopefully my voice will make it through this entire video, but I have no promises for you guys, because I do have a little bit of cold and a stuffy nose here. But anyways, I am back with my pinkup truck, dressed up in a cool blue shade here, for a little bit of testing I want to do, because if you guys haven't seen the Friday update from a few days ago now, they've done a couple changes to multiplayer, they've done a couple other changes to a few smaller things, but the big thing, especially for me, is that wheel grip update or change to the game, because for maybe a month or two now at least, the wheels have been very slidey, like you're driving on ice type of deal, and I've definitely complained about it to other people. I mean, I haven't stopped making vehicles, of course, but still, it kind of takes away from the driving aspect of the game, especially off-roading for vehicles, because if you try to do any angle, the car would just kind of slide off the mountain. So finally, my truck here actually has a purpose, but you guys may be wondering what kind of test I want to run here. So I'm going to throw it into drive here, turn on our lights and everything. And we're going to drive up to the runway because I've set up a little test with a couple other pinkup trucks up there. Hopefully I don't bin this truck here. Keeping it on the road pretty slow. And one of the things I want to show off is now that the truck can actually get grip here, its top speed is no longer 60 miles an hour. I can get it up to over 120 miles an hour if I'm not turning, but I do need to stop. Ooh, okay, we were close there. So I'm gonna park this guy right here because we don't need him much anymore. I just wanted to show off that we do have a pretty good top speed, and that 120 number is actually a mark for this test here. So as you can see, I have 3 different trucks here. I may have to respawn the mission they were set up in to get them all on that line. But if you haven't noticed already, all 3 of them have the 3 different types of tires here. And now that the grip is fixed in the game, hopefully, I can actually test out basically the differences in them, because I've been building a lot of cars and vehicles, land vehicles in Stormworks for a while now, and I've come to the suspicion that the 3 different types have no difference other than the aesthetic version of them. Now, where I might be wrong on that blatant statement there is off-roading, because of course the grip tires here are probably going to dominate off-roading, but I'm going to set up a little course later on and see if I am correct or incorrect about that off-roading statement there. So now that all 3 of them are on that line, I've spawned the car mission in here. What I'm going to be doing for this test is jumping in all 3 of them, starting that motor up, putting it in drive gear, and I'm going to get it up to approximately 120 miles an hour and then slam on the brakes here. And I have not done any changes to the cars themselves with suspension or anything other than changing the wheel type here. So each car has 100 grip, the same suspension, blah 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 blah. We could go on for a day or 2 here, but let's see what our first car's mark is. So it's basically getting up to 120 and stopping as fast as we can. And I want to see if the speed tires, the grip tires, maybe the all-around ones have a major difference in here. And of course, during this test, you could call out some human error, because I am only human here, and we could get off by a little bit. But I'm just going to go if there is a huge difference between all 3 cars, if there is a difference between the wheels. But if they're really close, maybe within 5-10 feet or so, then I'm going to say all the tires are really the same. So let's get our first test started here in 3, 2, 1. Already on the floor. Trying to keep it as straight as possible. 100, 120. Saw it a second late, but nonetheless, that is our spot to be. I'm going to turn it off with that parking brake on and jump out. I mean, that's a pretty good distance from over here to there. So I got to make a very long walk back, so I'll see you guys in a second for the all-terrain tires. Alright, we've got all-terrain tires all set up here and ready to go. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. I need to be looking at speed, actually. We got 100, 120. Ooh, that looked a lot different. I know I might have slid a little bit with those grip tires, but that's still looked like it destroyed the grip tires for some reason. So if this is true, that the then we're going to assume that high speed over here is going to give us a smaller mark maybe. But my only problem with that is the high speed seems like the tire that slides the most, because it's supposed to have less friction to give you a higher top speed. But I've tested out all three trucks as well before I started this video, and all three of them do also have the same top speed around 123 miles per hour, which, I mean, maybe you could decimal point that testing from time to time, where one is like a pinch faster, might pull away a little bit in a drag race or something, but they're all about the exact same here. I do kind of want to retest that grip tire test one more time, and maybe I will use my blue truck over there to see if I can get a better result for it. But anyways, now we have the high speed tires for it. So, without further ado, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! I need to be looking at my speed again. 100 already. 120. Ooh, and all-terrain actually beat it by a little bit. Even though we went off course a little bit, we're still on the island, so it's perfectly fine. But somehow all-terrain is currently the winner. And I'm going to redo that grip test one more time just to see if there was some high-speed sliding or something. But it might actually be that high grip is maybe just not as good at high speed. You're actually losing traction or something. So that might be why it took us a little longer to get up to speed, because quite literally I could not control it at that high speed there. But I'm pretty sure these will dominate off-road though. Well, I'm at least hoping, because it would kind of be a weird argument if high speed would win off-road. But I don't know, the all-terrains definitely seem like the clear choice for every run of the day pickup truck here though. Let's get the blue truck here on the line. I'm going to try to keep it as arrow straight as I possibly can on this run now. There we go. We're parked and counting it off. 3, 2, 1, let's go. We got 100, that's 120. Okay. So that test definitely didn't favor that as much. I guess I might have turned a little bit too much at high speed with the first pinkup truck there with the grip tires. So that meaning that would have probably been an outlier. I feel like I'm doing a science project on this right now, and I'm going to bore half the audience. Like there's going to be a graph rolling across the screen, but with only 4 points and 2 points at the same test, where these two only have one variant, or one run of each test, one evolution. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So between these two, that's like a 5-foot difference maybe between how far they went. High speed definitely surprising me that it's the furthest off here. I mean, then again, it doesn't surprise me as much because those have a lot lower grip than the other two tires. Well, basically, they're supposed to have less grip, I'm assuming, to give it a higher speed. But anyways, I'm going to be respawning the 3 over here, and I'm going to be doing a small off-roading course just to see maybe subtle differences if one of the cars, like say the high-speed one, starts to slide off the mountain or something. Then that would be a evident part that, of course, that the high grip would be better off-road. So I'll be right back with that. Alright, so I've set all 3 of the pinkup trucks here with a little off-roading course set up there. And for the first one, I wanted to do those high-speed tires just to see if they are still pretty slidey off-road, or are we actually going to get some grip here doing some off-roading. Of course, we do have 4-wheel drive on this vehicle here, so meaning it's not going to have as much of a problem gripping surfaces. It did seem like it slipped a little bit there, but we're not having too many problems actually staying on the terrain here yet. Yeah, oh, back end slipping a little bit, and we're getting a little bit more slip there as I'm speeding up a little bit too much. I'm trying to keep this at a level speed, but yet again, I am only human for this testing. Looks like we're actually taking on the terrain pretty well. We don't even have it in low gear. It's just picking a gear and going for it. So not much wheel spin off-road here. They're actually getting a pretty good time with minimal slip, although back end does seem to be slipping every once in a while. I want to see with this little course around that if the high grip ones and the all-terrain are actually going to slip as well. And it looks like it's the end of this car. He only put that in park, and I have a long way to walk before I can get back to my my two other vehicles there. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes, and hopefully we get a cleanup crew for that truck there. Alright, we're back over here, and I'm jumping into the all-terrain truck here, putting it in that drive mode, and we're gonna go off right now. We don't really have any time for this or whatnot, because quite literally I could damage the truck just like I did with the high-speed ones there. So far it doesn't look too bad for the all-around ones. We're not getting much slip, it looks like. Staying on those angles pretty well. Able to stop on here. I know it is slipping a little bit going down that. I'm interested to see if the high grip ones can hold it on that spot there though, but it definitely seems like it's a little bit more nimble, definitely maybe has a little bit more traction off-road. Then again, I'm not exactly sure. I'm assuming the developers made it high speed was for on the road and high grip was for off-road. It'd be weird though if there was no change in the grip between the surfaces there though. So this test would basically be, how do I put it, pointless? But looks like this one made it out and I didn't destroy the engine there. Doesn't look like there was much slipping other than that brake test on the angle. I'm assuming the high speed ones would have slipped as well. But anyways, let's get back to those high grip ones over there with a little flurry of speed, and we've lost it. Come on, flip back over, GTA style. Oh! How? How did I do... Wait? Ooh, I actually made it out. Wow, that's surprising for me. I've never actually done that angle in this truck before, because of course this was made during the non-grip tires and whatnot, where everything was ice, so I was never able to actually do heavy angles with the tires here. But I'm actually interested, maybe for a future episode I'll go back and test out some of the tank tracks and see if those things can still grip really well on like really angled surfaces. I don't know how to say it exactly, because I did a previous episode on that before, but I don't know, maybe I'll come back to it after this update and see if anything has changed. Of course, the high grip, the ones I've already put on this truck here, seem to be doing okay. We might have gotten a little back end spinning there where it slid down the hill. And I want to do this brake test with the high grip tires here as well. So I'm going to get the edge of that down. And this one is sliding as well. So it looks like between the high grip and the all-around tires, there's not so much of a difference, really. I don't know what to say. I mean, the high grip definitely seems like it's got the chunkier threads, but I mean, for off-roading, there are different types of tires for different terrain. Of course, the chunkier ones would definitely be better in the mud, but for other terrain, I'm not exactly sure about snow, but I think loose gravel and dirt definitely do better with skinnier tread, I believe. Don't take my word for that, but I think that's how it goes, because there's definitely different types of tires for different types of off-roading. So those all-terrains, I don't know. Then again, we need multiple tires in the game, and those two make it out pretty darn quickly. Flip back over. We didn't get him to flip back over. We can use the door lift up little cheat there. It's not exactly a cheat. It's more like rescuing myself from a flipped truck. But nonetheless, I'm going to go back. Actually, going to respawn my mission here real quick. And I want to do that brake test for the high-speed tires. I don't expect it to actually stay there. But I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Alright, so I'm not going to do the full course here as I drive back. I'm just going to go back to that slope right before the end there and see if the high-speed ones can actually hold themselves up, because I didn't really test that part out before. I didn't really think about using that part as an actual test to the wheels until I did it with the all-terrain tires there. Yeah, high-speed slipping still. It can't hold itself. So none of them can really hold themselves there, apparently. I mean, it's not looking great for my testing here. All of them seem to slide on off-road. All of them had the same top speed when we were running them down the runway. They have pretty similar acceleration and deceleration points as well. So I'm gonna kind of have to leave this to them being exactly the same. Of course, for the obvious, there is the change between the aesthetic point of each of them. It seems like the characteristics of the three tires right now in version 0.8.23 or 2.6, excuse me, it doesn't seem like they have any difference. Well, this might change in the future. Right now, there's not really a big reason to change the tires. I mean, I just go with the high grips because, especially for a pickup truck, I mean, I don't know, why not? There might be some point at which these tires do have a difference between each other, but honestly, it's probably minute, small things that I don't know if I can really find with just general testing here. So yeah, that is my conclusion to this episode here. I'm going to jump in my tailgate and call it a day in Stormworks. So that has been my testing of the tire types in Stormworks. Tell me what you guys think in those comments down below. Do you guys see a change in the tires when you change tire types or not? Because honestly, I really haven't seen a change, but I'm really interested to see if you guys have evidence, proof, whatever, or you just think that the different tire types actually do make a difference. Of course, on different types of vehicles, maybe. I don't know. Because I've only tested it with one truck here, there may be certain situations that they are different. But enough of me blabbing about other circumstances here. That is where I'm going to the end of the episode. Thank you everyone out there for watching. So of course, if you guys did like this, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel to stay up with Stormworks and more of my content. But I've never been great. Goodbye. Some people need me and I need to go.